Hello, Tiger fans. Thanks for joining us for a new week of Tiger Timeout along the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton with you as we poke around Tiger and Lady Tiger basketball on the road this past weekend. And Campbellsville's women's club, well, they pick up a little hardware on their trip to the western part of the state of Tennessee. The head coach, Ginger High-Colvin, joins me. And coach, by hardware, you don't have it yet, but you will, regular season champs. And
yeah, I hadn't thought of it that way.
That feels awfully good.
That's a pretty good way to think about it. But yeah, we knew we had to get one of our last three. And so we were able to get two on the road and seal up that Mid-South Conference regular season, so it was a good win for us.
You start to do the math, and the Lady Tigers were sitting at 9 wins, so the max they could lose would be 3, and 1 win would do it. Bethel on Thursday night, Coach, I know you had 3 chances to get one. You really just wanted one, and you took advantage at Bethel.
Yep.
Nip and tuck the first half or so. You guys were able to kind of find your footing. Third quarter, pull away a bit from Bethel. It's a team that's still trying to figure some stuff out without their point guard, Callan Howard. It's just difficult for them, and you had to play through a little issue as well. Maddie Boyle got nicked up in the first half.
Maddie Boyle tweaked her ankle a little bit, so Derek just advised if we didn't need to put her back in, not to, and that was, we're always going to go with what he wants. He said if we had to put her back in, we would, but we kept a pretty comfortable double-digit lead. We're deep, and we should be able to overcome things like that. And I think Bethel did a good job on us defensively early. But and I know we'll get to this, but Lauren Lee was Player of the Week. We came out against Bethel, came out against Freed, just cold everywhere, and Lauren just kind of got us through it till everybody else started feeling it.
Lauren Lee scored 22 in the victory, which is a career best. You won by 22 points, 71 to 49, and the junior point guard. She's been terrific throughout her career, but right now, she's next level.
She's feeling. I feel like she's just been so solid for us all season long. Defensively, we've talked about this too. She's just changed her game, and she's as good defensive as she is offensive. And she's so smart, and she just knows when to make the big play and where to get the ball. And we're just so blessed. She's valedictorian of the university. She's a great student, a great kid. Loves the game, loves to play, and it's hard for me to wrap my mind around that this is her first Player of the Week. I guess it's just our team is so even, but she's very deserving.
And I love to tell the story on air. Down in Florida, you guys were going to the mall, and the first question Lauren said, the valedictorian, right, Lauren Lee, her question was, does the mall have a bookstore? That's what she wanted to know before she committed to making the trip to the mall.
Kayla Luby and Lauren Lee, if you want to get in touch with them, you have to send a bat signal out. You can't they're not looking at their phone constantly. So a text to them, most of the Lady Tigers is you get right back, but Lauren and Kayla, it might be the afternoon. Like Kayla Luby's, it might be a day or 2 days before you hear back. So they're reading, they love to read, very studious, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think we need more of that.
That means they spend more time in the scout too, right? The Lady Tigers go on the road Saturday against Freed Hardeman. It was a top 25 matchup as we take a look at the numbers from that game. 55-52. Campbellsville gets a 3-point win. Lauren Lee, again, a nice day for the Lady Tigers with 17 points. Pritchett and Luby in double figures as well. Lee, as Coach mentioned, would be the Mid-South Conference Player of the Week for her performances over the pair of games this past weekend. And Coach, you had the regular season, the 9th under you as Mid-South Conference Championship put away. So now you've kind of got that's a big spot for a potential letdown. Maybe it helps being in a place like Freed Hardeman, who tested you earlier this season. No letdown for the Lady Tigers. Slow start. You got down by 12. They made it interesting, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, they did. And the thing about our league is and we preach that to our kids constantly, there can't be a letdown. They're just, even the very bottom team of our league right now, there can't be a letdown. All those teams have competed and played well, and it was a close game at home, so I think we knew going into it would be a dogfight down there. And so we were, I thought just, even after we got down 12, I thought we stayed composed and just really just let the game come to us. And different people stepped up for us, which is what you want to happen. And I was really, really pleased with, and I know we'll mention Kayla Luby, Maddie Nally, obviously Lauren we've talked about, and Courtney Pritchett hit big shots. Stats that don't show up when you go back and watch the game film are Bailey Pettigo and the plays that she makes. So all around great effort from our team down there.
And rotationally speaking, with Maddie having the ankle injury that she was trying to play through, and flow of the game, it got to where you kind of shifted and adjusted on the fly, and you got more minutes for Maddie Nally late in the second half. Kayla Luby played a bit more down the stretch. There was something about that grouping that really worked, and with 4.5 minutes to play in the ball game, you took your first lead on a Lauren Lee jumper at the free throw line.
Maddie Bull still didn't have the spring and the explosion, the plant off that she needed, and so Maddie Nally gives you a little bit more length, or if you're comparing she and Maddie Bull, gives you a lot more length defensively, but she came in, I thought, moved really well without the ball. They're really packing it in on her post, and she moved well, and then defensively I thought came in, rebounded, did a really good job, and Kayla Luby's physicality, I thought offensively and defensively late in the game were really big keys for us too.
The Lady Tigers get a win over the Freed-Hardeman Lions, a top 25 team in the country. We'll step away here. We'll take a timeout as Campbellsville wraps up last weekend's road swing. They're back at home for 2 to close out the regular season. We'll preview those matchups here. Stay with us on Tiger Timeout.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
We are champions of character.
I tell my son, I love you every single day. I love you. Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Tiger Timeout continues here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton with you as we begin segment number 2, taking a look ahead for Campbellsville's Lady Tigers, the third-ranked team in the country, 24-1 on the year. They'll close out their regular season this weekend at home in the Powell Athletic Center as Coach joins me. Anytime the Georgetown Tigers and the Campbellsville Tigers get together, it's fun. I know going back for you, that's the one that really sticks out as your rival, and always fun when you guys collide.
Always has been, you know, and you ask the former Lady Tigers, they're always going to pick that Georgetown rivalry, and I know a lot of people think it's Lindsay, and Lindsay's always a great game, always fun. The communities get into both times, but I think Georgetown is a traditional rivalry, I guess, if you want to say it that way. And Georgetown's coming in here with only 4 losses. One's to us, one's to Marion, who's ranked number 1 in the country right now. So 2 of their losses are to number 1 and number 3. Extremely athletic team, and we have our hands full.
Yeah, and the other 2 losses, Freed and Cumberland's, everything on the road except you guys got them at home. They were 12-0 before you played there at the Davis Reed Alumni Gym, so obviously they'd like to come here and give one back. And for Georgetown, Coach, this team, they're going to be in the national tournament. Coach Nichols done a terrific job, but this would be a big resume builder for them. They've got some wins over teams in the top 25, but number 3 would be a feather in the hat.
Yeah, and you know, that's again what we try to get our kids to understand. I'm really glad that's not our last game, our senior night, because that's an emotional game always, and with as many kids as we have, we just need to be locked in on that Thursday game, and just locked in on hopefully getting the sweep of the league, because to me the tournament's great. I love the tournament. Everybody loves the tournament atmosphere, but when you can win the Mid-South regular season, that's to me the hardest thing you can do. And so I'm really proud of our kids, and you know, we have won it outright, but we would love to get that game on Thursday.
Let's take a look at the numbers that make up this matchup between Campbellsville and Georgetown. As Coach mentioned, winning the league tough. It's been since 2018-19 that someone was able to go undefeated in the league. That was the Campbellsville University Lady Tigers. That is the test in front of them. 22-4 Georgetown College. 82 points a game, 46% from the field, 72% from the free throw line for Georgetown. Campbellsville remains atop the country in a lot of those categories you see. And Coach, Georgetown up there, I don't think I told you that the script of the game would have went the way it would have. You probably wouldn't have believed me. You guys were up 29, 30 points. Terrific shooting day for the Lady Tigers. And Georgetown, though, they are just as explosive at times. Tiana McDaniel, and then you take Aaron Toller and A.J. Stevenson, what they can do. They've got big bodies in the post with Lamparty. Lanverside had a great game against you guys at their
Really
plays.
did.
Callie Jackson as well. It's a really nice roster for Coach Nickel.
They are loaded. And, you know, just talking about Georgetown and then talking about University of the Cumberlands, talking about Lindsey Wilson, who I think has an opportunity to get in the tournament, Freed Hardeman. I wouldn't want to face any of those teams in the national tournament. I'm so glad it's almost over for us because it's been such a grind, and we all know each other so well. Jeff Nichols does an absolutely great job. We've competed against each other for years now, so our teams know each other, and so it will be an outright battle on Thursday night. You've got to take what happened at Georgetown and throw it out the window because I know they'll plan and work and come in here ready to go.
And then we won't really dig too much into Senior Day, but College of the Ozarks will come here on Saturday. And it's funny how the schedule works. You had the last day of the Mid-South Conference schedule slated to be open with that bye, which some may say, well, that's a good draw or whatever. The way it was going to work out for you winning the regular season, the Mid-South Conference tournament, you'll now get a first-round bye.
Yes.
So that game keeps you from having almost a 2-week or a week and a half layoff.
It does. At the time when I scheduled that game, I was really apprehensive about it because, you know, you want rest at this time of the season. But now, like you say, we don't play until that Sunday. So we need that game on Saturday. And College of the Ozarks is a team that is playing extremely well. I feel confident they're probably going to be a national tournament team as well. And so after the Georgetown game and then coming in here on Saturday, this is a really tough 2-game stretch for us.
We'll talk about some of the seniors next week after that matchup with College of the Ozarks as Campbellsville battles them on Saturday afternoon. It's a Sunday night start with Georgetown, but I do want to mention before we close, a big week on the hardwood, a big week off of it as some future Lady Tigers make their way into the fold. Hallie Allen down in Tennessee, you got her signed. By the time this thing airs on Wednesday, Dia Bradley will be official as well from up the road in Hart County, 5th Region Player of the Year, I believe.
Yes, she is. I think her dad posted that last night, and not a surprise. The kid's playing extremely well this season, and so Hallie and Dia are two that we've signed that we're extremely, extremely excited about. 2 hard-nosed kids. We love getting local kids, love getting those kids that can come in from these close schools and play, and we're excited about Dia. And we're excited about Hallie and what both of those can bring to the table.
They'll be Lady Tigers in short order. Campbellsville still a little work to be done on this season before they look too far down the road. Coach, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you, Matt.
The Lady Tigers wrap up their Mid-South Conference schedule on Thursday night in the Powell Center. It is a 5:30 start with Georgetown. Coverage begins at 5:15. Then College of the Ozarks at 1 o'clock on Saturday. We'll step away, come back, and visit with the head coach, Brent Vernon, about Tiger basketball here on Tiger Timeout.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this.
Thanks for staying with us here on Tiger Timeout. Matt Payton here in the Campbellsville University Sports Network studios, joined by the head coach of Tiger basketball, Brent Vernon. Now Campbellsville on the road this past weekend. They make the trip to West Tennessee as well. Bethel University on Thursday, Freed-Hardeman on Saturday. Coach, anytime you take those road trips, the long road trip, a lot goes into it. You leave on Wednesday. You hope that the Tigers, in your case, can play well. Not to be over the weekend in terms of getting wins and losses. Yeah. Thursday night against Bethel, though, you were right there, nip and tuck. Team that you beat at home, just needed a few more baskets.
Yeah, it was a good game. Both teams, started out early. We knew without having Jay, they're big, they're physical. A lot of times that the game has changed a lot more to a lot of guard play. They're still somewhat of what I consider old school. Their guards do work on getting downhill and to the rim, but very physical in the post. And I was really concerned about our lack of post play or post numbers, I guess you could say, without having Jay. And you could find out real quick, sort of like the Lindsay game, going downhill from their guards without rim protection. It was going to be a struggle a little bit when they missed because of their big 6'8", 6'7" strong. Rebounding was going to be an issue, and that was our biggest concern going in. So we had to go a little off kilter. We played a lot of zone, which we're not really used to, and it masked a few things. At the end of the game, he just didn't mask quite enough.
And you're going zone for a myriad of different reasons. Obviously, without Jay, rim protection becomes a little tougher. So maybe you can clog things, but you're also at a stage of your season with all the injuries. You're just trying to find a way to get to the finish line almost. Yeah. I mean, you can only handle so much, and you look down that bench when you got more guys in street clothes than uniform, that's a problem.
Yeah, and it was tough, and so we go zone, and unfortunately, Noah, one of our 3 post available, 2 quick fouls, basically played 6 minutes for the game and fouled out, and some calls probably the right calls and some that are questionable, but it's the one thing we really couldn't have happen that did happen, so we're now short another post because of time restrictions and stuff like that. Just had to play a lot of guys a lot of minutes. We were all in to try to win that game like we are for all, but if you looked at the minutes in the box score, I think 4 or 5 guys were at 34-plus minutes games, which makes it tough. But we competed. We had a chance late, and for what we were trying to do, I guess right now that's a little bit of what we're hoping to get out of it, but we wanted to come on the other end of things.
It was an 81-76 final. Bethel gets the win over Campbellsville. And Quirion Gadsden, coach, he's one of those guys over the last couple of years. Now, you've had success against him. You've won most of these games, but he finally got you on Thursday night. And, man, you talked about getting downhill and getting to the rim. He's been a tough matchup for you the last few years.
He has, and it's one of those I thought at times we really defended him well, and he made some very tough shots, just like at our place. At our place, we really defended him well, and it was just shot after shot. And whatever it is, it's one of those matchups right now. I think when he gets into the game, because of prior success, he just has a lot of confidence. But he had a very good game. They did a great job of mixing it up with him. At times he was on the perimeter. At times they put him in high post against the zone. And he made some big plays for him down the stretch. And again, that's what good players do.
Kobe Penny posted a career-best 25 in the loss for Campbellsville. They then went down the road to Henderson, Tennessee to take on Freed-Hardeman. We'll take a look at the numbers from that ball game with the Lions, 106-84 the final score. Darius Harding with 23 points for Campbellsville. Chandler Clements had 15, Kobe with 15 more for CU, 40 points over the weekend for Kobe. And, Coach, that matchup with Freed-Hardeman, we've talked about this, maybe on paper your most difficult matchup, period. And oftentimes, styles and different things, pieces determine what a game may look like. You go to Freed-Hardeman short-handed, got behind early, but credit to your group. It wasn't pretty on the scoreboard at times, but you guys got back. You made that game, competitive. Mm-hmm. I mean, even in the face of adversity.
Yeah, and Freed-Hardeman, a very good team, top 10 team nationally. They have incredible depth, and they're playing 8, 9, 10 different guys every single game. They really do a great job all the way around. And it is, like you said, sometimes you just have bad matchups. And right now, that's one of our toughest ones, if not the toughest one. Obviously, take away the injury. We were without Keaston Brown because he had played his final game from the number standpoint of red shirt. So, we're down another player there. So it made it a little more difficult. Obviously, on the road, recovery's a little harder. So many guys playing so many minutes. And they came out, it was back and forth early, and then they made a run, and they continued to just play really good basketball. And we tried different things. We went man, zone, and just really had a hard time stopping them. At our place, it was a lot of the same things. We struggled getting and seeing the open man. Their defense is very good in the first half. I thought the second half, again, we really settled down and did the stuff that we had talked about wanting to do early in the game. I think right now our biggest factor is whenever the game starts getting a little bit sloppy, a team goes on a run, we start going a little too fast instead of just slowing down a little bit. And that's what we're working on, trying to get through to eliminate some of these runs.
The Tigers fall to Freed-Hardeman. They'll turn their attention back to the Powell Center on Thursday, a date with Georgetown at home. We'll step away, come back, and talk with the head coach about the upcoming games, not only with Georgetown, but also Carolina Christian on Saturday. Stay with us here on Tiger Timeout.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How is it? Is it good?
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Closeout segment of Tiger Timeout this week. Matt Payton here with you as we touch base with Brent Vernon on Tiger basketball back at home for matchups with Georgetown and Carolina Christian. Coach, it's kind of crazy to think here we are. I know it's been a difficult, trying year for you guys, but we are at the finish line now.
Yep.
You're a couple games left in the regular season. You'll quickly set your sights on Bowling Green for the conference tournament. It's been kind of a whirlwind, no doubt.
It has. I'm going to say to think we're in the last week of the regular season, it's hard to fathom. It goes by, it seems a little quicker every year. And, our main goal right now is with 2 games left, we have to find a way to get a win or two and try to get some momentum going for us. I can't say enough about the resiliency of this group. Things haven't gone exactly as we envisioned or had hoped for, and you got to control the things you can control, and unfortunately the injuries are stuff that are out of our control, but they're still showing up every day. I've loved our preparation this week. We've had some really good film sessions and practice sessions, and we're preparing every day for a big test tomorrow night.
Georgetown, at their place, they were able to, Seth Johnson, man, that was really the difference in the ball game.
Yeah.
He hit 4 first-half threes, gave them a little bit of separation. You guys got back to within a handful maybe or so right in there, and maybe even a chance to tie at one stage. Just couldn't quite get over the hump. I know that's difficult anytime. If you can ever get even or take the lead, it puts a different sense of pressure on the other club. You couldn't get that, but maybe at home it makes a bit of a difference.
I hope so, yeah. First half, Georgetown, they played extremely well. Seth Johnson made 4 threes, and it really gave them the advantage. But I thought, you go back and see the second half, and we put together multiple stops. We figured out some things to where we were getting great looks on the offensive end. We never got it to 3. We were at 5 with the ball 3 different times, and had great opportunities. 2 of those 3, we had really good looks and missed good shots that we'll take every possession. And then they made a few shots to get it back to 9 or 10, and that's sort of where the outcome was. Obviously, we played in an extremely hot gym that night. we did dig a hole, so we had to use so much energy. We just didn't quite have enough left to get over the hump. But again, we played. It was a very fun game, sort of a tale of two halves. And I think our guys left there realizing that the opportunity to present itself again, that we have a chance. So, excuse me, I know our guys are excited for tomorrow night, and they've really put some good work in. So hopefully we come and we're prepared to play another very good team and try to get a win.
Let's take a look at the numbers. So the matchup from this upcoming contest with Georgetown, Campbellsville 15-11, Georgetown 19-6 on the year, and you can see Georgetown scores at about 88 points a game, 50% from the floor. The Tigers much better at the stripe. And for Georgetown, Coach, just when you think you've got this league all figured out, you guys go to Freed-Hardeman, top 10 team, you lose by 22 on the road. Cumberland's a top 10 team, goes to Georgetown and loses by 30 or so at the Davis Reed Alumni Gymnasium. And that shows you, A, not only this league is nuts, but B, Georgetown, though they've got 6 losses, they've had to play through some injuries themselves. That's still a really good basketball team, Coach Briggs has.
Yeah, very good. And, you know, it is year in and year out. I think when you go back and watch the Georgetown-Cumberland's game, it was similar to ours. Georgetown made more shots than, not that we anticipated, but what they had been making throughout the year so far. And they really shot the ball well against Cumberland. You talk about, again, in our game, Seth Johnson, but you go and look in reality, and this is as good a thing for Georgetown and their depth. We held their starters to like 30 points or less. We did a fantastic job against their starting group, but their subs came in and made a lot of shots and did a very good job of exploiting some things. And for us, we got to be able to keep the ball in front a little better. Tay Dozier came off the bench and really helped Seth Johnson get some shots. So if we can guard the ball a little better to where we're not in as many rotations, I do feel like defensively we'll be prepared and ready, and then we've got to be able to jump up and make some shots.
And you're kind of in a weird place. You get the last day of the regular season off. So for you, your conference ledger is going to be closed. Some other teams will still be playing to settle it. So this is your last chance to kind of, plant your flag and hold on to maybe a 5 at worst, maybe even as high as 4. I don't know if that's even still an option. Probably not.
I don't think so. It is. Saturday, this whole week, there's a lot of jockeying for position. We're looking at that 4, 5, or 6, probably more of the 5, 6 right now. We do own some tiebreakers to be in certain spots, and for us, it's not really worrying about the seed. It's about trying to make improvements and get ready. The biggest thing that we're going to have against us going into conference tournament, because I really believe a one-game scenario, any team, we can compete with everybody. But we've got to win 3 games in 3 days, and that's going to be a tall task, and we've got to figure out what's best for us to get through that. And again, it goes in that one-game elimination where all cards are thrown in. So we're trying to get some momentum heading into next week. Our guys, again, they're in there every day. They're excited to work, and that's all I can really ask right now, and just continue to work and try to make some improvements and make these last 2 weeks the best we possibly can.
And we'll touch on your seniors next week, but you do have senior day as well coming up on Saturday against Carolina Christian. Always an emotional time, but fortunate that you could get not only that extra game and pick it up, but you get to slide it in on the back end and do senior day there non-conference.
Absolutely. It was a late ad. It was one of those we were stuck at 27, but we're able to find a game a little after Christmas time to add this one. So it'll be good for our guys. Senior day's one of the worst days for me just because, we're a family here, and it's saying goodbye to a few guys and guys that have really put some heart and soul into this. So it'll be an emotional day, but we've got to come out and get a win for those guys and send them off the right way.
Coach, best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, Matt.
The Tigers get a pair at home, Carolina Christian Saturday. Before that, Thursday, they'll take on Georgetown. Coverage begins the Georgetown doubleheader at 5:15 on Saturday, 12:45. Special thanks to the head coach, Brent Vernon, as well as the coach of the Lady Tigers, Ginger High-Colvin, Matt Payton, saying we'll see you next time here on Tiger Timeout.